Hey, this is Cameron, and welcome to the chair log. Whoa! I don't think there's gonna be much practicing in this one, unless there is, in which case this is gonna be a practice log. You'll know by the title of it. Yeah, I kind of just wanted to, just talk to you for a little bit, maybe answer some comment questions. I've gotten like 1,000 comments since the last time I talked to you, so I'm gonna answer one or two of them maybe. Probably only one, it usually ends up just being one. But yeah, I've been practicing a lot. It's been really, really great. Like, I think yesterday I practiced for like 6 hours. Like, it was crazy. And even today, like, I'm not gonna film it unless it's like really going well, but I've been working on the Soar Mozart variations a lot. I did that for like 2 hours today. And also working on that new Soar piece that Brandon has for me, and the Adagio, all that stuff. The Soar Mozart variations, something in it is just like clicked, I feel like, especially for the fast stuff. I feel like how I've been approaching it, like, until the last few days, it's always just hopping to the next thing and sort of getting it over with as quickly as possible. But I don't know, just holding out the durations in that way, it's just changed a lot of how I feel about that piece and like how it feels to play it. And it just comes out so much better and so much more in time, and it's exciting to go forward in that, and I feel like it's coming along a lot better than it has been, because that's just one of those pieces. I've been playing it for like years. I've gotten it like okay, kind of, but I've never gotten it like good. But I really think I'm making genuine strides to actually playing it well, which is exciting. That's like a cool thing to experience when you've been working on something for so long and you've put so many hours into it, and it's finally gonna maybe get good. Yeah, how's your practice going? Is all that good? Okay, cool. So, why don't we jump into some comment questions now? There are so many I have to sift through. My god. The Tommy Emmanuel video, it's just overpowered everything. Okay, this could actually be an interesting one. So this one is from Loft5-P9K, friend of the channel. How's it going? He said, "Hey man, I'm one of your new viewers." Hey, what's up? Welcome to the show. Had to sub after the Tommy video. You must be the special kind of person that actually just likes me, because a lot of people did not like that video. I'm glad that you're one of the special few. So funny, but you did give him respect in the end, but we're honest. Yeah, that's right, we keep it nice and classy here. I think there's a lot of value in what you said about would you listen to this on its own as a predominantly steel string / electric player interested in branching out. Probably like most of your new viewers. Yeah, that's a wonderful thing, which I actually saw a comment as I was reading through these. If you have such a strong bias towards the nylon string guitar, you realize you're gonna lose students in the process to that, right? Yeah, I know. Like, that's kind of the point. I only want to teach classical guitar. And he mentioned how, like, he taught all genres except for metal, and he said that he would have gotten like 10 more students had he taught metal. But I think those students are probably better off just going to somebody who really enjoys metal and who knows a lot about metal. And I would encourage any student that wants to learn guitar that's like jazz or something that's not classical, reach out to somebody else. Like, if you want to learn classical guitar, if you want classical influence in your playing, then I can be your guy. And like, I totally get having that attitude if you're teaching in-person lessons and you're only living in a town or something. But like you said, probably like most of my new viewers who are maybe like playing steel string and electric and all that and are now getting interested in classical because of all the nonsense I'm spewing here, that might happen to 1 out of every 1,000 viewers that I have, and that's kind of enough for me to have like a fully loaded teaching schedule if they all want to learn classical guitar from me. So yeah, I can be like pretty picky and choosy and still teach. That's the beauty of the internet. We're dealing in insanely large quantities. Anyway, so probably like most of your new viewers, steel string losers looking to become classical losers. That's great. You're still gonna be a loser. Maybe you could show us some playing on like a steel string. I like that you're using like in your comment. I like to think that that is rubbing off on you, and that's just how we're all going to leave comments going forward. I've tried changing it. Sometimes I get in my head about saying like when I'm making these videos, and I'll just be silent. Like right now, oh, I just said like. Right now, I don't know. I feel that when you're using the word like, it's kind of as if you're using, like, like I could say as if instead of like. It's as if it's like it's as if I'm using a little less direct language. I'm sort of associating things with other things. It feels like this. It's like this. I'm not saying it is this. I'm trying to be a little more casual. I'm not trying to speak matter of fact about everything that I'm saying. Or I'm not trying to speak matter of fact about like everything I'm saying, but it's like almost everything. Some things I am speaking matter of fact. So I don't know, it makes sense in my head. I get why it's annoying. I wish there was a dial where I could cut it back, maybe like 40 or 50%, and that would probably be the appropriate amount to use the word like. Maybe you could show us some playing on like a steel string or electric, how the classical skills transfer, and give some examples of contrasting back with the nylon sound. Well, it's funny that you say that. I don't know how I come across, but I was not born in the light. I was actually born in the darkness, like many of you. Like you, for example. You were born in the darkness too, apparently. I played electric and steel string for the first like 8 years of my playing, and I've studied all kinds of genres. At least in high school, I took 2 semesters of a jazz course at a separate program, like from my high school. It was called the Fine Arts Center, where I took jazz theory and improv for 2 semesters. I missed out on so much education because I also took orchestra throughout all of high school, except for the last year, which is when I did the jazz thing instead. And then I've also studied jazz independently for a while. I didn't get super good at it, but I was writing out my own solos and transcribing a lot of stuff. And it was kind of all I was working on. And what you should keep in mind, you can say what you want about my playing. I believe that I play at like a pretty standard, like graduate level. I don't play like a doctoral student, nor do I have the experience of a doctoral student. And you guys can all say in the comments like, oh, getting into university for guitar, anybody can do that, and it's like so easy, and they all suck. And I've seen plenty of doctoral students, they very much don't suck. But I think my playing at a graduate level, I don't think it would stand out. I don't think it would be bad either. I think I've put in enough work since my undergrad that I kind of play at that level. I'm not as good as any professional that you'd hear on YouTube or anybody who you look up and it's like, oh, when are they touring? Like, I'm not that good. But I think that there's clearly a path for me to approach that in the next 10 years or so. I'm gonna work really hard to get to that. And I can see falling short of it, but I think no matter what, my trajectory is something where I will be quite good when I'm in my 30s. And feel free to disagree in the comments, I don't care. Keep in mind, I didn't start playing classical guitar until I was 19. And I'm 26 right now, so we do the math. I've been playing classical guitar for 7 years. There was never a point in my life since I was 11 that I actually stopped playing guitar, mind you. But there were certainly points, like perhaps 3 years of the 7 years of when I started playing guitar, I didn't really play with my fingers that much, and I played with a pick quite a bit. And I also played a steel string / electric guitar quite a bit, more than I would a classical guitar. So if we're looking at my 7-year history, which 7 years is not really that long, and even less time in that, only 4 of those years have actually been real dedicated practice. And despite that, I'm still quite good, which tells you that I think a lot of it really carries over. So if you practice steel string a lot, which I'll give you some examples, like I have my steel string over here. So you can even go like 8 years of playing like I did, playing like this, with your thumb over like that, and then literally just transfer to a guitar. And that doesn't even show up. Like, I have no instinct to do that on a classical guitar. It's a different instrument entirely. Like, I would play different things on it. I would be uncomfortable grabbing my steel string guitar. God, speaking of buzz. Whoa! Yeah, like, I can't play any tunes on the electric guitar right now because I just haven't, like, played it in so long. But you can see I have, like, technical faculties on it, and I think I definitely look comfortable on the instrument. Like, if you look at somebody who only plays classical guitar and you hand them a steel string and a pick, they're not gonna look how I look. You know, and there's like a few things that are like obvious, like the vibrato. Like, I have muting technique too. And my steel string and electric playing, like, it really hasn't grown much since I was like 19, I guess. Some of my phrasing has changed. Like, I think a lot of my phrasing when I was a teenager was just a whole lot of like Like, I was just playing scales, like, as fast as I possibly could. My phrasing is a little more like, you know... It's more like around the triad. You guys think Tommy Emmanuel's guitar is bad? I think you can get to like a pretty high level relatively quickly on the classical guitar if you've already reached like whatever level that was. And I'll tell you what I did to get my right hand to where it is now. Giuliani arpeggios, a lot of Giuliani arpeggios. I remember when I was an undergrad, I would do them for hours every single day. I would set 45-minute timers on my phone, and I would let like 3 or 4 of those suckers go by every single day. You know, just doing all different finger combinations. And just making them all feel like somewhat the same. And I honestly didn't even work on scales that much. Like, I worked on tons of scales, of course, on steel string, but I didn't really get that far into scale practice when I was younger. It was mainly just speed bursts. And just getting it to about that speed. Because, like, if you're starting off, if you've never done right-hand stuff, you can't play anything at any speed. You know, so, like, develop enough technique to play that, like, really reliably. And things with, like, the Giuliani arpeggios, just to develop, like, that sensitivity that you don't have, like, bringing out, like, going through each one. Like, can you separately bring out each note? I mean, I put, like, countless hours into the Villa-Lobos arpeggio, like, just working on that piece. It took forever to get that thing proficient, and it's still like not even that reliable. There's some technique stuff that you're gonna have to get used to, and it's a lot of right hand. Honestly, as a general rule, and I kind of believe this, and I don't know if I believed it at first after hearing it in the John Williams thing, but that thing where it's like, it takes 12 hours to turn out a rock guitar, it takes 12 years to make a classical, I'll roll it.
A rock and roll guitarist can be turned out in 12 hours flat. The classical player must devote at least 12 solid years to patient study. You pays your money, and you takes your pick.
I think that might be the number, 12 years. So however old you are now, if you were like really good at steel string, just start practicing classical in the way that I'm talking about and just give it 12 years. You know, work on technique, work on rep that's appropriate for you, learn how to read sheet music if you don't already. And I'm in year 7 of that right now, and you can see the level that I'm at. Like, I feel that I play the music that I play pretty well. Don't expect it in like a year. Don't expect it in 5 years or even 7 years. You should expect something like what I have in 7 years, but not like touring. You're not doing like Carnegie Hall yet though, or anything like that. And you might never get that, and I might never get that either. I'll report back to you in 5 years from now and see if I'm at anywhere close to a professional level. I personally suspect that I will be at this current trajectory. 5 years is a long time, and I feel I've made great strides in just the last year. This has been the most productive year for my guitar playing ever. So, you know, let's just do 5 more of those, and I don't see why we wouldn't, because I'm focused, I'm locked into guitar. You guys see the improvement? Let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. Hey, you know, we're doing the outro sitting down. Yeah, you know, if you made it this far, be sure to subscribe and leave a like. Of course, if you want some guitar lessons, I'll teach you classical guitar. But I guess as you've seen, you might be able to get some other stuff out of me, but trust me, your money is best well spent just asking for classical guitar lessons. That's the thing I'm most educated in. It's the thing that I'm currently studying now. So, you know, the work that I do outside of lessons will transfer over very nicely to your lessons, so you'll be getting, like, fresh stuff that I'm looking at and working on. Versus if you're asking me about jazz or any other style, it'll be more like me remembering stuff from like, I think, yeah, maybe you should work on this, and like, I don't really know. By the way, Friday morning, Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., I'm available then. That's like my most available time right now. Everything else is full, basically. There might be a slot or 2 opening up, just because I've had like a huge influx in students, and of course, there's gonna be some like turnaround with that. Don't make it you though, if you're watching. Don't quit on me. Just stick to the program. But, you know, email me, and if you really want a slot in the afternoon, like Monday through Thursday, I'll let you know when slots open up. And those will be weekly or bi-weekly, all hours. I don't do 30-minute lessons. Yeah, merch. Head on down over to Rootin's Delight. Pick yourself up some merch. Honest merch. Yeah, maybe watch another video. Watch some reaction videos. Get the Jacob Collier video to 100K if you can. And yeah, you know, thanks for watching. Thanks for pushing all my videos, guys, because it's the engagement that, like, gets everything pushed, and it's having all the subscribers now. I think that it makes it easier for the videos to just sort of pop off when they do. So, you know, I appreciate you pushing them and liking them and commenting, and yeah. Alright, I'll see you in the next one.